G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and in this video we're going to be talking about the much asked topic, monetization. Bit of a fun word there. Basically, we're going to be talking about how you make money creating things you like. Artworks, animations, games, all of that, anything in a creative field, that's kind of what we're focusing on here because it's Draw with Jazza. How do you make money from that? What are the different ways that you can pay your bills and maybe even have some savings and buy nice things for yourself and people you like? So, first and foremost, I have a rule that I always tell people when they ask me this question. I get this question a lot. They say, how can I make lots of money and get millions of views on YouTube? And I say, don't. If that's your approach, don't do it, because that's a bad goal. Your goal should be creating quality content and being passionate about that and enjoying it. If you can't do that, if your goal is to get money and you're frustrated and you can't get money and you want to get money, you're not going to get money. It's going to be really, like, it's very rare, like in if I knew the decimals and percentages, it would be pretty damn low. So the point is, your goal should be stability and enjoyment and fulfillment, because at the end of the day, 10 years from now, regardless of whatever money you made, if you've been miserable in the last 10 years trying to make money, why waste those 10 years? Whereas if you've done okay and you've kind of scraped the barrel, but you get by and you've loved it, best 10 years ever. And that's the way I feel, and that's the way I approach it. And you know, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. I love it and I'm really enjoying it. And I don't make heaps of money. I make enough to get by in different ways. And so we're going to talk about those ways. The first way, and the most common way to make money doing things that you like, in a creative sense, is freelance. That means doing something for someone else and they pay you, and you decide together what that will be. In a lot of cases, this begins by doing things for friends or family. That's okay. You don't need to feel cheap or like it's not real work if you're doing it for friends and family. You should see it as a bit of an inroad. You can learn how to communicate and, you know, treat them as a client, communicate professionally, create work that they want, show progress, and that's kind of where you can begin. And trust me, it escalates. They tell friends, friends tell friends, friends tell businesses, businesses ask for your business. So it's a bit of a long road, because you've got to build stability. Now, this is dependent on a few things. All of these different areas are, but in particular, freelance, you need to be a great communicator. You need to constantly be able to and ready to email your client, whether it's family or friends or an actual, business. You need to, speak to them as a client. You're a professional, and let them know where you're at, ask what they want, ask for details, be specific. And then second of all, artistic proficiency. We're talking here about creative freelancing. So it might be creating a game for someone or an app. It could be painting a picture. It could be, drawing a sketch, whatever. At the end of the day, you've got to be good at what you do. And you've got to be able to make what they want. Because doing freelance work, you're making something for someone to own, and they have something in their mind, and they might not be as creatively adept as you are at communicating what they want, but you have to be able to read into that and know what it is, what they want. If they want a plush toy to look like something, and they send you a crappy sketch, you send them back a better sketch, and you say, is this what you want? And they'll say, no, I imagine that differently, and you kind of go back and forth, and then you make it. And then you make alterations, and then you present them with a finished product. And finally, self-promotion is a very important part of freelance work. That means the ability to keep getting work. You might do a whole bunch of jobs for some family, and then some friends, and then some clients, and then nothing. Where did all the work go? You need to be able to go back to clients and say, oh, I have some free time. Did you have anything you need? Or maybe even propose ideas. You need to be able to go to people you haven't approached or worked for before and say, I have a good idea that you might need that I would be good at doing, So it's really about putting yourself out there and being stable and strong in the way you present yourself and the way you work with them. So freelance, that's one of the main ones. Now next, we're talking about sponsorship. This is a bit of a different one. Kind of an analogy I like to think about when I explain sponsorship to people or family or friends who don't understand it. I kind of like race car drivers. I explain like how race car drivers often have logos on them, like Pepsi or like, Bridgestone tires or all these. They always have lots of logos on them, and that's because lots of people look at these race car drivers, and all of a sudden that person is a billboard. Right? So you're basically turning your creative work into a bit of a billboard. You're an advertisement for this company. So For example, one of the reasons I shamelessly promote Newgrounds is because they are a creative hub where they want people to go submit their works and animations and games, but they also like to be part of that content. So if I make a game or an animation, I might approach Newgrounds and say, I've made this, what do you think? Would you be interested in sponsorship? Now, sponsorship would mean that if they say, yes, I think this has potential for success, if this animation or game might reach hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people, I'd love to have my logo on it so that when they see that quality content, they think of me as well. So they benefit from it. And the great thing is you keep your work, you own your work. If you make a sequel and you don't want the money from a sponsor, you're not obligated to give them anything. You can go make a sequel. They don't own your work, but you have to stick by that agreement that you come to with your sponsor. And often that is you receive a payment for incorporating their logo or their brand or their intro animation or whatever in a certain way that you both agree on. That isn't intrusive to your work because you do want to preserve the integrity of your work. And also talking about distribution and publication. Where will the product go and how will it be published and put out there in a way that benefits you both? And often sponsors kind of take this for you and get your product out there even better. So you could get sponsored by a game group like Newgrounds or Armor Games or Congregate, and as part of that sponsorship you might get better placement on their website, or you might get more promotion, so your content gets more views, therefore they get more bang for their buck and you get more promotion, and therefore you're more of a viable candidate next time you want a sponsorship. So it's pretty cool. That's a really cool way of getting yourself out there and getting a bit of money. Now, skills dependent upon, again, communication is at the top of the list, always, because if you can't contact someone you want to sponsor you and pitch your idea and say, this is going to be successful, look at this, you're going to be happy that you gave me your money to put your logo in my work. If you can't do that, you're not going to be successful. So you need to be able to communicate clearly. You need to be able to also fulfill those deals and all that stuff. Also, the quality has to be good. Your content has to be worth watching, which brings us to the last point, which is there has to be a potential audience. If you make quality content which has a really kind of small demographic of people who would be interested in watching it, as quality as it may be, you're not really going to find a sponsor because no one will see it. Then again, even if it's mild sort of quality content, but they know it's going to be seen by a lot of people, you're really likely to get a sponsor because that's what it's about. It's this weird sort of balance. You want good content, but at the end of the day, it is about being seen and about a positive association with that. So shock value isn't a selling point, but good humor, creativity, quality, and a great potential outreach is, that's really what it depends on. So last but not least is advertisement revenue, ad revenue. This is things like Google AdSense. This is like CPM Star or ads in your games, your Flash games, your tablet games. You see how in apps, there's like advertisements in some of the free apps. That's how they make a bit of money from apps that they give out for free. So advertisement revenue is where someone else, off in the distance, some company pays a middle group like Google AdSense or CPM Star to put their ad in products, and you're one of the products. So, for example, you might have seen an advertisement before you watched this video. This is another way that I try and make a bit of money out of the things that I do in making this YouTube channel and try and build a stable financial base. So when people watch that content and click on or watch the entire advertisement, that person way off in the distance, that company or whatever who paid for that advertisement to appear, gets a little portion of that money to you. And so the more people that see those advertisements on your content, the more portions of that money you get, that kind of builds up and you can create a bit of a financial base. Now, this is dependent upon views. Obviously, the more people that watch your content, the more money you get. That's why viral videos can be kind of cool for people because they can have a burst of success. But the problem is it's not sustainable. And that's why subscriptions are a big deal, why people are always very excited about having 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000, 1,000,000 subscribers. The more subscribers people have, that means that that amount of people click the button, essentially saying in their head, I want to keep watching this person's stuff. And that program or whatever it is, the browser, YouTube, for example, will constantly give them that person's content and they will likely go back and watch it, like you are right now. Thank you for subscribing. That's a big deal because that means that the more consistency and appeal that this person's work has, the more subscribers that they have, the more views that they have over time. So there is a potential exponential increase in the money that they can earn. So the last thing I'll say about this, aside from it being dependent upon views and sustainability, is that you're kind of on your own. There are a lot of people out there trying to do exactly the same thing, to try and make quality content and be viral, as people say, and to try and be viral, which is a bit of a weird sort of approach in my mind. So I think the approach, personally, I think the approach should be making great stuff, being passionate about it, and the people who follow you will follow you because they are passionate about it and enjoy it as well. So knowing that you're on your own and you're in a world full of people who are trying to do the same thing, do it in a way that you want to do it, you're enjoying doing it, and it's good quality and it will grow. You need to be able to have creative instincts and goals. You need to be able to think, how can I work with other people who have a lot more subscribers to watch my work so I can get a few more subscribers? How can I make content specific to my demographic that will be shared with their friends or reach out? So you really kind of got to think creatively, be independent, and most of all, be passionate. So really, that's what it comes down to for me personally. It's really about passion, quality, and enjoyment. Money will follow, but it takes time. Time. Think of that word. I've just got to repeat it, because so many people who look at successful animators or game designers or artists think, I want to do that now. I want money for that now because they get money for that. And it takes time. Sometimes you can have spontaneous success, be viral, and bam, all of a sudden you're an internet hit, but that is very rare. Very rare. So you can't plan for that. You can't structure your career around the hope of a viral video. It's not going to happen. You need to plan and structure things in a way that will allow you to be consistent, creative, enjoy your work, and be smart about it. So anyways, that is my advice on creating a financial base for the work you do. And I have experience in all of these fields. I've been sponsored in a lot of my animations and games. I've done a lot of freelance work, and I still do some on the side because it's nice to have kind of a stable base. And I'm trying to create a sustainability out of this YouTube channel. All of these things come together in a way that enabled me to pay my bills, barely, and that's okay with me because I'm having a blast. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy my videos. You can download the reference files from this tutorial by clicking the link in the description. And remember to share any art, animation, or game you make on Newgrounds.com. Until next time, see you later.